guys, it's Bella, the maker mama boss lady behind Bella's Custom Crochets, and this is Late Night with Bella of Bella's Custom Crochets. Yeah, this is not my normal podcast recording schedule or time of day or lighting or setup in general, but given all that is going on, if you're watching in the future, it's March of 2020. It's March 24th, I think. I'm not going to talk about all that's going on because we all know and it's no fun and we hear enough about that. But I figured while we're all home and kind of distance from everything else, that I'd just throw a little more content out there and hang out with you guys a little bit more. So I did record a podcast last week, but might as well record another. I have a little bit of making to show you, and yeah, I think this is episode 7. I lost my podcast notebook. Normally I have notes. We winging it today. And I've recorded this is the 3rd time now. My phone has just been being very rascally. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't have a ton to show you just because I've been I don't know, it's been hard to focus. My brain gets really like pinball machiney with anxiety and just everything going on. There's so much information out there and it's a lot. So trying to just filter all of that out and keep on keeping on is tricky. But yeah, the stuff I have been crocheting or knitting has just had dumb mistakes that I wouldn't normally make. So I've had to redo a lot of things. So my progress hasn't been incredible, but I do have stuff to show you. And yeah, it's mostly knitting actually, which is unusual for me. But I've been working on the same crochet project over and over and frogging it repeatedly. So I needed some knitting thrown in there as well. But yeah, I do want to say, if you want to go follow me over on Instagram, Bellas_custom_crochets. I do have some more daily content there, and my life isn't exciting enough to vlog, but I've been trying to put up more stories, videos in my stories. Just fascinating stuff like me making sourdough starter. So if you want to go check that out over there, give me a follow. Subscribe here if you want to be getting all the content that I'm hopefully going to be putting out for you as long as I possibly can. And yeah, there's a Ravelry group as well. If you search the Ravelry Group section for Bella's Custom Crochets Podcast, you can find a Ravelry group there if you want to join. And there is an Ask Me thread. If you want to throw questions in there, ask me anything. I would love to do an Ask Me episode. I don't have the capability to do a live one right now on YouTube, but I would love to record one and answer questions that you guys have about making crocheting life in general. So ask me anything within reason, and I would love to do one of those videos for you soon. So pop on over to the Ravelry group for that. It's all a blur in my mind because I've recorded it 3 times now. I think I said all the things. Oof. Take a sip of seltzer. I just drank it straight out of the giant bottle because I'm the only one that drinks it. Savage. Alright, so the design I've been working on. The last podcast episode, which I think was episode 6, I told you that I had already frogged it once and my math had been wrong and I was increasing it was a triangle shawl. I was increasing at a weird rate so that the point in the center of the triangle was like down by your knees by the time you were done. So I was like, that's not gonna work. So I frogged it, and then I realized after releasing that episode, or when I was watching it back, I was like, no, you're kidding me. Like I've said, I've been having a hard time really focusing and just been making stupid mistakes. So the increase in the center was going so somehow I had shifted over a stitch and then the next row and then yeah, so that nice straight center point was like which was also not desirable. And also, and I went back and double checked my math on paper versus the reality of my shawl again was not good. So I frogged it again. But I'd already been complaining that I was working off of all these little bits and pieces, because when you're working a stripy design and it's fingering weight, which makes it just, even more tediousness. I had so many of these little yarn nuggets. This is in my yarn bowl from Mama Creations. I can't show you the tag because there's a bajillion little things. Can you see that? Mama Creations. She's from Connecticut. Yeah, Nicole makes really awesome, not just yarn related yarn-related yarn bowls, but she makes bags and baskets and bowls and all cute things to organize your house out of, I guess it's rope or cord that she hand dyes and then sews into objects. So go follow her as well. But yeah, so it's all living in there and it's color coordinated and looks super cute, but it's a mess in there. So yeah, it was a stripy design, so I had ripped it out and was already working with the little nuggets of yarn, but because I had changed the increases and the row count and everything, the like sizes of the little nuggets of yarn was not lining up with the reality of the shawl. So there are so many ends on this, so many ends. Honestly, if you're doing a stripy shawl, there's going to be ends regardless, a lot of them, but it's, I guess, a necessity. It's like in a hat or a sweater or something. It's not a big deal if you carry it over a couple rows on the back side, but a shawl, obviously, you're going to have these raw edges. So you don't want to be carrying ends. And I've never been a join as you go, but like those magic join ones and whatnot, that's never been my thing. So I always sew on the ends because I like it to be good and secure, but now I have so many more ends because just like all these spaces here, where I'm using shorter balls of yarn than the row, so many ends, guys. I posted a picture on Instagram and a video of me just like going through all of the ends, and there's so many and I'm not even halfway done. But I think it's working now. I'm holding it upside down, but I think it's working now. So this was going to be called the Plant Lady Shawl, or that was kind of the working title. Not going to call it that, but I'm still not sure what I am going to call it. It's going to be something planty, botanical, or maybe none of the above. I don't know. Like I said, my brain's kind of like, woohoo! And I have 2 designs in testing right now, so focusing on another has been a lot. But instead of being a top-down triangle shawl, I decided to go from end to end, or I guess corner to corner, and point to point. So I'm starting here, and then you're going to be increasing. So one edge will remain flat, and then one will get longer. It's not going to be asymmetrical. It's going to be symmetrical, because I'm going to keep increasing down this side. I'm almost to the middle. It's going to block out and get much larger according to my swatch. Almost to the middle point here, and then I'm going to start decreasing up this side. Look at those ends, guys. Whew, that is some... I wish I could make it into like some functional fringe or something, but they're spaced out in such a weird way that, nope, I'm just going to have to sew on all those ends. But yeah, so it's going to start decreasing up this way and then go back down to a point on the other side. I was thinking, I don't know, I have a couple ideas. I'm kind of trying not to stress this design too much more than I already have, because I don't need any more stress in my life right now. But I'm kind of just making it up as I go. I had a stripe sequence in the other one that or the other 2, that I did like, but I'm kind of just following my heart on changing colors here. I'm writing it all down though, so it will be easier to translate into a pattern eventually. But I was thinking that maybe I would mirror it going back the other way, so the stripes would be in the same order. Does that make sense? So like there would be a stripe section, then there would be a brown section, then there would be a beige section. So it would go in the same, like if you folded it in half, it would be identical on both sides, I guess. But I'm thinking I'm not going to do that. Maybe. Possibly. I was thinking that maybe what I would do instead was keep the like size of the bands. So like have this be the same width over here, but in a different color. But again, and I also may decide to make it asymmetrical and just keep increasing. What do you think? Votes. And by the time you vote, this will already be up. And I'll probably be continuing on this, but who knows, maybe I will have pulled it out again. Do you like asymmetrical? So, like this end will just be wider and wider and wider and wider. Or symmetrical, so I'd start decreasing. Thoughts? Preferences? I've done asymmetrical before, so I thought it might be fun to do a symmetrical. And the stitch works out that I can increase it and decrease it that way. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. Also, if you have any brilliant names for this, also if you have any just support groups for sewing and ends, because holy moly. Okay, so the yarn from this has been holding up really beautifully. Oh, now there's alpaca fuzzies in my mouth. Holding up really beautifully because it is natural fibers and they're good sturdy ones. If this was like acrylic and I had frogged it this much by now, it would have been looking a wreck, but I promise they're still looking gorgeous. I talked about the yarn last time, but I'll show you again, because here we are. All right, so the orange was one that I had in stash. This is going to be my color A. This is leftover from a project I made a cardigan for my daughter out of. I believe it's discontinued now, but substitute at will. Plymouth Yarns, Nettle Grove, and they just have number colors. 45% cotton, 28% linen, 12% nettle fiber, and 12% silk. So really interesting, mostly plant-based content there. All silk plant-based. Silk comes from worms. I don't know about silk. But no animal fibers in there unless coming from worms is an animal fiber. Silkworms. Deep thoughts in the apocalypse with Bella. Okay, so that's the orange. I threw that one in there because the beige and the brown by themselves was just washing me out real bad. And the orange kind of gave it this fun 70s vibe that I was really liking. So the beige, or the natural color, I think it's natural, I don't think it's dyed, is Burgess Bork alpacas out of Canterbury, Connecticut. So I love me a Connecticut local. This is her Lilu base, I believe. And it is 70-30 alpaca and hemp, and farm raised and milled in Connecticut. So I got this when I went to the Boston Farm and Fiber Festival. I had 2 skeins of this. These are all fingering weight. I think I said that. Who knows? I've recorded many times. But yeah, really gorgeous. And I think it's, like I said, the natural alpaca plus hemp color. I don't think it's dyed. And yeah, just really drapey, beautiful, 2-ply. They're all 2-plies. This one's a little more thick, thin, unpredictably, but they're working out fine together. I'm all about mixing the things, and I blocked it out, and it's all gonna be fine. I blocked a swatch. And then the brown color, which is probably my favorite out of the bunch, is Silver Key Stitches, also out of Connecticut, South Windsor, and again, milled and everything in Connecticut as well. And this one is 70% alpaca, 20% merino, and 10% bamboo. I'm not sure if maybe the Sabara is the color or the base. Either way, I think this is the only one that she has in this base because it is a naturally colored, not naturally dyed. It's the natural color of the yarn, and it's just so beautiful. I love this brown. And normally I don't go for brown, but that's a good chocolatey brown. Because yeah, normally she's somebody that just dyes like merino yarn. So maybe Sabara is the color and I don't know. Go check her out. But yeah, the yarns are holding up super great and have been super gracious to me for having pulled them out so many times. So that has been the majority of my crocheting up to this point in the last week. I did whip out a, I think it's just called the lace cardigan. Lace cardigan by Mon Petit Violon. How's my French? She is my favorite crochet baby wear designer, and my cousin was having a baby shower this weekend. Obviously, she's not having a baby shower now, and my heart goes out to all y'all mamas, because that's hard. But yeah, so I made... Oh, it's wrapped over there. Should I unwrap it? I haven't dropped it off yet. I'm gonna unwrap it. It's okay. It's just in a bag. We're gonna unwrap a present for my cousin's baby. Because, why not? You're gonna hear some tissue paper. Sorry, cousin. I'll rewrap your present. So yeah, this is probably my favorite baby girl pattern. I forget what the sizing is on it, but I have made so many of these. I've made several for my daughter in lots of different fibers, and I've adjusted like the weights and the gauge. But this is I think 0 to 3 month size. This might have been 3 to 6. This looks more 3 to 6. I'm not sure. I forgot how tiny babies are. Because mine's so old. She's like 15 months old now. But the main pink color is in Jessica the Hook Nook yarn. And main squeeze, and the color is... What is the color, Jessica? Do you not name your colors, Jessica? Nope, this isn't the right one. Just kidding, that's not the right one. That's the gray one I tried to make it in first, and I didn't like it. I did, but it was too thick. Okay, so no, this is small stuff. It's the DK weight. Main squeeze is the worsted. So I tried making it in a gray worsted, and that wasn't working. DK. And this one is called Pink Peony. Really nice, super soft. Loving Jessica's new line of yarn. So yeah, and then the edging was just some Barocco Remix Light that I had left over from my lilac cardigan test a couple podcasts back. And then my mom gave me, or I pilfered from her with permission, these, can you see, am I holding it up right? Vintage buttons, all like mother of pearly. So they're mismatched, but I really love them. I think they add a lot of great detail. And I should say the ruffles that I put on the top and the bottom are not part of the pattern, but I can wing a ruffle no problem. But this works up so quick. I made this literally in an afternoon. And I've made all the way, I think I made one 0 to 3 for my daughter when she was like before she was born, and I've made several as baby shower presents and like sibling size presents up to I feel like 2 or 3 years. I don't remember how large the pattern goes, but I've made my daughter I think 3 at this point, and I've made maybe 3 others. Somewhere at like 5 or 6 with this pattern, and it doesn't disappoint. It's great. I love it. So I'm gonna have to rewrap this present. But yeah, so that is a really good if you need a quick baby shower make, or even if you aren't invited to a baby shower, because those are scarce this time of everything. But you know somebody who's got a babe on the way, she's got some really sweet baby girl patterns. I don't think she has a lot of baby boy patterns. They're all pretty lacy, frilly, dressy. But yeah, really good baby girl stuff. So that has been my crocheting, which might seem like a lot to some people, but for me that's not a lot for a week's time. But yeah, let me show you the knitting I have been doing. Like I said, I just kind of needed a mental break from the crocheting because I was wrestling with that project and I didn't have any other selfish crochet projects going. So between the that design and then the 2 that I have in testing, my brain was like crochet mathed out. So I've been knitting a little bit. So I finished, I showed you these in the last podcast. These are my blueberry waffle socks. I didn't sew in the ends yet, but they're on my blockers. And yeah, they're super, super fun. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the blueberry waffle pattern. If not, it's a great free, I forget who it's by. I don't think she has a huge social media presence. It's like originally as a blog post, I think. But you can find it on Ravelry. It is a free pattern, and it's just a great like textured, it's not really broken rib. Textured rib pattern that just hugs to your foot really nicely. And this is, do I have the yarn? I should have had the labels out. But I don't. Okay, I'm not digging through this entire thing. I found it! Okay. Mad Fuzzy also got at the Boston Farm and Fiber Festival, which, by the way, super grateful I went to because all of the other ones are canceled. This weekend was supposed to be Stitches United, and obviously that's canceled, and Connecticut Sheep and Wool is canceled, and there was like a sheep shearing thing last weekend, canceled, so I'm really glad I went to the one in Boston in February. This is from Mad Fuzzy. She's out of Maine. Her name's Marta, and she mills and dyes in Maine. And this is her Pure Fuzzy base. It is 100% non-superwash East Parisian, I think is how you say it, wool. So it doesn't have nylon or polyamide or anything in it, which I'm slightly worried about. But she had lots of socks as samples in her booth and seems to think it's fine to make socks in them. So we'll see. It might not be as hard wearing as something with nylon in it, but I think because it's more rustic-y wool, maybe, I don't know. But this is her colorway, Madam. So, love that. Happy with these. And this is probably the wooliest thing I've done to date. Normally I'm not a really farm yarny type person just because I'm super sensitive, but this is actually, I don't know if I could wear it on my neck. Like, here, watch me caress my neck with a sock. I don't think I could wear it on my neck, but on my feet, totally different level of sensitivity on my calloused dancer feet. So this will be fine. So it's blueberry waffle, slip stitch heel. I always forget which toe it is. Rounded wedge. It's a toe. I don't know. Pretty much follow the pattern for this one. And these were made on Hiya Flyer US 1.5s in the 56 stitch count because I got the tiny feet. And I did decide to pick up, we'll get to that in a minute. Erase. So I just need to sew on the ends on those, and then they can go in my little box of socks for the year, but I totally wear my socks once they're in the box. Okay, so this was a pair of socks that I finished in February, beginning of March. This was the weird one. Go back a couple podcast episodes where it was one skein of yarn and there was like no discernible pattern repeat whatsoever. What is this? But we talked about that plenty already. But I was already kind of miffed with this yarn because it just is what it is here. Like, white, what is this? But I was like, whatever, they're just socks. I'll finish them. I'll wear them. No one's going to judge my toes. So I put them on for the first time. And this is Lian brand Mani Pedi in Wristers, I think. Wristers was the colorway. Put them on for the first time. I was wearing them with like my not ankle boots, but like short fuzzy boots. I don't know. Not calf boots, not ankle boots. Somewhere in between. Calf-ish and half boots? Half calf boots? That's a thing. Yeah, so I had one of the boots in my house. What? Like, not even, like, bust open a heel or a toe or somewhere that I had seen. Like, I don't even understand. Like, maybe just the back of my boot rubbing on the sock, like, just deteriorated something. But this is superwash and nylon, so you would think it would... Like, I'm okay if my socks, like, don't last forever. I understand, like, they're hand knit. They might not be as hard wearing as, you know, the sock you buy in the store, but... What? It just, like, busted open. And I took off my boot, like, a couple hours later because I was changing my shoes because we were going like hiking, and yeah. So I don't know anything about sock darning, and I'm not even sure I have, because I used pretty much all of the yarn to make this pair. I'm not even sure I have the same color left, so I may be darning it in some completely other color. And yeah, I know these stitches should be on something because they're like live stitches and they're escaping, but I'm kind of just mad at this sock, and I don't really want to deal with it right now. Got enough stress in my life, sock, without you busting open. So yeah, it's just like this angry little heel mouth now. Brr. I don't know anything about darning socks. Is it just like Kitchenery? The same thing? I don't know. I don't know how you darn a sock, but oh darn, I'm gonna darn these socks. These darn socks. So that was my disappointing knit situation of the week. Because, yeah, I need more discouragement in my life right now. Seltzer. So then, when I finished the blueberry waffles, and I was mad at those and didn't want to darn them, I started another pair of socks, which has also caused me grief of my own making. So these are... I need the tags. Get those ready. I had these tags ready. All right, hang on. Everything's coming all out of the place here. Okay, so these are the Mahogany Run socks by the Crazy Sock Lady. Get in there, ends. So we're doing okay. The yarn is some one-of-a-kind hand-dyed from Kitty Pryde Fibers. They're both one-of-a-kind 50-gram skeins. Kitty Pryde Fibers. Really love the colors. Really cute together. Very happy with that. But I think that her fingering weight yarn might be a little thinner than what I'm used to. I'm trying to find another fingering I can show you to compare. Yeah, looking at that I have next to me, it's a little thinner than I would expect fingering weight to be. It is a superwash nylon, right? Superwash merino nylon, 75-25. But it is leaning maybe a little bit more towards a light fingering, maybe not quite lace, but thinner than I expected. So I was doing my normal 1.5 needles and 56 stitches, and I'm just not loving the fabric. I don't know if you can see. You see any of that? It's just really loose. So I decided that I was going to need to do it on size 1s. So I got some and then promptly lost. Nope, I didn't lose them. They're here. From my girl Rachel at U&U. She's had to close because she said non-essential. Rude. But she's working on getting an online shop up, but she's my local yarn store. Local, not the most local to me, but the one that I choose to be my local yarn store. I picked up some US size 1s, and she just put them out on the table for me outside and just minimized all that human contact, but still supported my yarning needs, and I appreciate her. So I'm going to do these on size 1s. Ripping them back for that reason and for the reason because, like I said, I've been having some tricky times focusing, tricky times saying sentences in my podcast, and I don't know if you can tell in the self-striping here, or no, oh my goodness, the striping, it's not self-striping, it's just got stripes in it. But in the yarn over sections, I was doing some sort of bizarre, like when you do, I don't know if it has a technical term, but like when you do like a stretchy bind off, where instead of yarn overing, I was like wrapping around, like full circle, around the entire needle instead of just doing like the yarn over. If you're not a knitter and that doesn't make sense to you, I'm sorry, but I was doing it wrong, and it created these unfortunate lines. So I was like, it's not going to bother me, I'll keep going. But then as I noticed, like, I wasn't loving the fabric of the sock itself. Yeah. So yeah, I just was doing some things wrong. And I think, I like this pattern, but I think the 56 count, as it's like a series of stitches, knit stitches and some yarn overs, and then like one purl stitch. The larger sizes have more purls in between, so I think it's like 1 purl in between, 2 purls in between, 3 purls in between, depending on the size that you had. And pictured, Kay must have made one of the larger sizes, not the 56, because the purl ridge is like barely noticeable. Maybe when I block it out you'll be able to see it. I don't know if it's just the striped yarn, but like the purl ridge is the purl valley. What do you call it when it's not a ridge? The purl isn't as noticeable and clearly ribbed as it is in the larger sizes. So I'm wondering if maybe I'm going down to the size 1s, if I'll do the 64. I don't know. I've only made socks on a 2 and a 1.5. So now down to 1s, this is a different animal. But I'm not gauging for socks, so hopefully they fit. So I might go up to the 64. I don't know if I can do 60 without affecting the all-around pattern of this. But overall, it's a great pattern. And I love this yarn. It just was, I figured out the yarn overs. I'm doing them correctly now. But yeah, I'm going to rip that back and start it again on the smaller needles and with correct techniques. So that's been the sock knitting. And then I have a couple more things to show you. The camera's not facing me, so I'm not sure how long I've been going, but hopefully you're not bored of me yet. All right, the one other knitting project I have going is so many yarns attached. Oh boy. My first ever, I've done color work and a hat, but this is my first ever color work sweater. First ever yoke sweater. Also first ever full-size adult knit sweater. I've made the As If Tee by Shay Johnson, but I've never made myself. I've made lots of sweaters for my daughter, but I've never made myself a sweater. And I've never made a yoke sweater. They've always been raglan. So this is the, let me cover this up. I believe it's pronounced salubrious. It means like healthy. That Morgan of More Thunder released last week, thinking of all of us being shut in and needing to be healthy. So it is I didn't print the front page because I saved that printer ink in the apocalypse. But it is a colorwork yoke. And I am yay far on it. And my colorwork is meh. 3 colors. I may add a 4th. There's a mistake right there. I'm so critical in the apocalypse. But there's a mistake here. I added a whole extra row. Overall, I conquered the short rows, and I think I'm doing, other than that obvious bit right there that I'll just probably overstitch. I'll just stitch over that with the other color and fix it. But overall, I think it is okay. And it's so satisfying to take yoke photos. I like the way I did gauge for this one. I had never gauged a colorwork swatch before, so that got a little schnaggly. But I think I'm okay. And if anything, it's going to be more oversized than I thought, and I like oversized, so we're good. I'm doing the size 3. The patterns are very inclusive in the sizing. So I got through the short rows, and now I'm just working the colorwork chart, and then it stops after the top half of the sweater, and the rest is just, I think, stockinette. I hope. But yeah, My mom lent me her Chiaogu interchangeables because I don't have any yet. Ordered some because I'm going to apparently knit obsessively now. So this is my mom's set. Thanks, Mama. And I'll be returning her those shortly when mine show up. But yeah, my floats, guys, chaos. Chaos, chaos, chaos. I don't think they're that bad, and I don't think my tension is that awful. There are definitely spots that are better than others. And I definitely had some holy wrap and turns going on, and some holy make ones. And like, this one's really bad. But I'm just sew him shut, and he will be fine. But yeah, there's definitely some funny tension spots. I think it'll be okay. It is acrylic, so it may not block out as well as if it wasn't acrylic. Like, that doesn't look terrible, right? There's only a few spots where I need to carry longer floats. There's some spots where I completely missed carrying the longer floats, but like here, totally forgot to carry those buggers. I may have to tack them down later or something so I don't get caught in them. But overall, I feel like I'm not doing horrendously. There's another long one. For having only done color work on a, I think, I haven't done like a colorwork hat for myself since like high school, and even then that wasn't following a pattern, that was just me winging it. So the last colorwork hat I did was a Lady J crochet for my daughter, and that was tiny and 2 colors. This is mostly just working with 2 colors. There's a couple spots, like the section I'm in now, I have to use 3 colors. But overall, it's definitely doable if you're new to colorwork, I'd say, because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm getting through it. There have been some spots where I had to go back and I didn't frog it, I like tinked back because I was worried about messing up my increases somehow. But yeah, I think it's going okay. We'll see. What I'm using for colors is just some random stash dives because you can't go out and buy yarn in the apocalypse, or you shouldn't. This is wicked, wicked old. Like, wicked old. Wicked old. Red Heart Super Saver, which I never use. I am not a fan of the Red Heart Super Saver. And this is honestly, I think this is probably, you tell me, this is like their wicked old label. It doesn't even look like this anymore. But this was something that was given to me. Either somebody destashed it to me or a family member gave it to me. I don't remember. I didn't buy this. So it was used when it came to me, or not used, but unused, not new, when it came to me, and it is the color Black Fleck. So it's like black with like some tweedy looking bits in it, which I really liked. If it was just plain black. Oh, that's my hair. Just plain black, probably wouldn't have gone for it, but I don't keep a lot of worsted weight yarn. I don't use a lot of worsted weight yarn. So I literally have nothing in my stash in sweater quantity in worsted weight, be it fancy or not. I have this entire dresser over here that is all scraps. So leftover stuff from amigurumi projects or just like remnants from other projects. I don't throw anything out, but there was nothing sweater quantity. So I had no problem finding the colorwork colors, but the main color, this was literally the only thing I had. So red heart or not, here we come. I think it'll be okay though. I know this is not going to be my pride and joy sweater. I'm not even sure if colorwork is really my thing. I'm not, like, generally I'm not drawn to it at all, but I really did like this, and she had released it for free for the first couple days of the pattern, so I figured, hey, why not? Now is the time to do the colorwork. So hopefully it blocks out and it wears okay long term and whatever. If it gets fuzzy, I'm going to count it as a learning experience. So the main color was the red heart. This is some, I have no idea what yellow. It's not Vanna's Choice because I had that yellow as well. It's not the same. Oh, you know what? I think this is Big Twist. I think this may have been left over from my Dandelion Dreams baby blanket. Big Twist. No, not Value. Big Twist. I don't remember. It's a Joanne yarn, I think. If not, they have a very similar one. But this is a very soft acrylic. Pleased with that. This is Premier Everyday something or another. Don't have the label, in a dark green. I'm not positive on the contrast on that. You can see it, right? Is it showing up on camera? I think so, right? It's not terrible. I didn't want anything too crazy. I did the like black and white photo thing, and I think, I don't know. Again, don't know what I'm doing. And then this was the main squeeze that I had tried for that cardigan. That didn't work. So this is super nice as far as acrylic goes. I like this a lot. The hook nook. So I think all of these yarns are available at Joann for, you know, a reasonable price point if you can order it online, or I don't know if Joann is closed or is doing pickup or how they fall on the essential list, but I'm not leaving my house unless I have to. So I'm using a lot of stash, I tell you, as I'm about to show you all of that back there. Getting down to my last sip here. Alright, so that's everything I've been making. I do have some yarn to show you. Some of it is purchased, some of it has been gifts, and some of it is yarn support for designs. So I guess I'll show you the design one first. Okay, so this was sent to me by, I'm pretty sure I asked her how to say it. I think it's she said like lemon. LaRue. Not LaRue, not LaRue. LaRue. And she dyes 100% Pima cotton, which is not something I've worked with before, but it's really soft. It almost has a sheen to it. It's not like that, what's it, sugar and cream, that kind of cotton. It's super nice. She is out of Memphis, Tennessee, and she reached out to me because some of her events had been canceled, and she was looking for some dyers to work with for yarn support. Ooh, these don't have the names on them. I'll have to double check on what this one's called. I know this one was called Coffee Please, or Please Coffee? Coffee Please. And I forget what this one's called, and I can't look because my phone is recording. But when I start talking about this design, I will make sure to include that information. But the plan for this, so these are DK weight, 100% Pima cotton. The plan for this is to do a crochet top using, if you've watched my last couple podcasts, the Fandeco stitch that I'm using currently in my Fandeco vest. It's a stitch motif I've come up with. I don't have it here. Swatches over there. You're fine. It's just a skein of yarn right now, but I'll show you eventually. The Fandeco stitch, I'm planning on doing a loose fitting summertime top, short sleeve. I've only vaguely sketched it out, so this may all change, but that is the plan. Short sleeve, and then it's going to have a lace panel in the back across the shoulders in this contrasting color. I'm using that Fandeco stitch. So the main body is probably just going to be like double crochet, half double crochet, something like that. And then, yeah, a panel in the back. That is going to be this, I wish it had the colorways on it, but it doesn't. Can't remember what this was called. Falfetti. This one was called Falfetti. Appropriate, right? For spring. But yeah, the color name is perfect. I'm so glad I remembered that. So Coffee Please and Falfetti by LaRue Crochet. And I'm always super happy, or LaRue Cotton. I'm always super happy to work with new yarns, new dyers, and this is actually the first time somebody has reached out for me, or to me, for yarn support, which I really appreciated, so thank you for that. So that, once I finish, I gotta get the two that are in testing now done, and then get this shawl written up, and then once I conquer that, maybe get that into testing, I'll start working on this probably in April, because it's gonna be a summer design, but really excited about that. So stay tuned if you like summer weight. I don't have any summer weight patterns, so I'm doing that shawl, and I'm doing this. And they're all kind of in the same brownie beigey. Apparently I'm feeling that vibe. So yeah, I will be working on that shortly. I will definitely show you those yarns again in the future, but they just came this week, and Happy Yarn Mail has been a great pick-me-up. So a couple other yarn acquisitions, I guess. I'd shown you these last time. These were a birthday gift from Whip Yarns on Etsy. They were not gifted to me by Whip Yarns. They were gifted to me by my mother-in-law from Etsy, as per my wish list. So those are from Whip Yarns. And her sock rock base, which is a superwash merino, 75, and then 25% nylon. In the colors, rapid fire. In my heyday, pumpkin spice, set ablaze, and 4 and 20. So I had shown you that fade set last time and said that I wanted to make the Le Pouf. I can't like say French words without doing my bad French accent, and I'm sorry. Le Pouf. sweater by Hedgehog Fibers. So I wanted to use these colors, but I needed at least one more skein. I think it's a 5-color striped, marled, faded situation. But I think it's meant to be kind of cropped, so I figured I needed probably a 6th color if I wanted to not crop it, because I am team no crop over here. So I had one of these in my stash from when I bought the brown yarn from the Shawl. I had this one from Silver Key Stitches as well. She had done a pop-up at my local yarn store. And this is her color Bordeaux. And I had gotten this, and then I realized, oh man, that goes perfectly with this fade. I can't hold them all. Goes perfectly with this fade, and I asked her if I could get another one, because this is only a 50-gram skein. So she did get me another one, but it's a different dye lot, and she let me know that, and I was like, it's okay, because I'm going to marl them anyway, but this is a testament to why you alternate skeins if you're using hand-dyed yarn, because same color, different colors. This one's definitely got more black in it, which I did really like, but I think marled together, they'll be okay. So this one's a little lighter. This is her color Bordeaux. So that's a local. And then I ordered from Jen of Lian Lotus. Love her, also local. I ordered this one. This is her color Meteor Shower. And I was thinking this would be a good first color. I'm going to use it because I like it. I'm going to have to swatch though, because I was thinking this would be a good first color, but I'm wondering if it's maybe too light. Watch me hold. 7 yarns, guys. So this is going to be the color up by my neck, and then it's going to go down to the dark colors. Hugging the yarn, babes. This needs to be the cover photo for this podcast. So I'm wondering if this one's too light. It is. All of these definitely have black, very present in the colors. This one does have black, but it's only a couple specks. And in the picture, I was thinking it was maybe more yellowy than it is. It's definitely a light yellow, but I feel like it maybe is too light. Thoughts? So this would just be the part that's up by my neck. And then it would be marled together with this one and the next one, so they would be kind of blended together. I think it might work. Gotta swatch, gotta swatch. And I am totally not a rule follower when it comes to mixing plies. I try to not mix fibers, I say, as I'm making a shawl out of all of the fibers. But like these ones are 2 plies and this one's a 4 ply, and I don't care. I know that really bothers some people, just the textural difference, but I think because they're all going to be marled together, it especially won't matter. And I don't care anyway. I like them. So this is going to be, this was going to be my first knit sweater until I jumped on the salubrious bandwagon over there. But this is going to be my first hand-dyed fancy knit sweater. So I'm not going to start this for a little bit because I just don't have the brain space for it. But when I do, I will update you because look how pretty. And that's everything I have to show you guys. I have no idea what I'll have, if anything, next week. I'm going to try and get some other videos up, maybe get my husband in a video. Like I said, maybe that Ask Me if you want to pop over onto Ravelry and throw in some questions for that. Probably just made my hair worse than it was, but whatever. So yeah, with that, I'm going to wrap things up, maybe go work on my sweater a little bit, and drink some tea and just chill. I hope wherever you are that you are safe, that you are still healthy, that you are doing things to take care of yourself and maintain that health. Get some sunshine, take your vitamins, cat scratching at the door, and try and find the joy in stuff. In the situation. I'm sorry, my focus is so bad. Yeah, just try and find the joy. And if there's anything specifically that I can pray for you about, definitely drop that down in the comments as well. I know that we all probably need a little extra support in this time. So if there's anything on your heart that you'd like some prayer for, you can either message me on Instagram privately or drop it down below. I'd be happy to do that for you. And if not, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Leave me a comment of some kind just because we are craving the community right now, guys. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, follow, enjoy. Thanks for being here, and I will talk to you guys hopefully soon. Happy making. Bye.